All right, what do you guys got?
Junior, going back to even the end of the regular season,
Yeah.
you know, all right, there's going to be personnel churn. Guys will come, guys will go. What were the traits you were looking for in the receivers you were adding via the portal? And for Gary in particular, wasn't here in the spring. What made him a guy who, at that point, you made the right fit, was the right addition?
Well, I think when you look to go into the portal and address needs, right? You're looking for experience. You're looking for guys that have made plays at this level. We hang our hat on three things in that room, and that's being competitive, that's being tough, and that's being intelligent. And guys that honestly that just fit the culture and the environment that we have. Gary and I's relationship goes all the way back to, gosh, when he was coming out of high school. So I known him, so I recruited him pretty hard. We had a good relationship.
What have you seen so far from those transfers in the 3 days that fall camp is?
I mean, what I see where it starts in the meeting room. Those guys they're coming early. I mean, Tez comes in at 6:30. Trayshawn's is literally right after him around 6:45, 7. Gary's in the building by 6:30, right, doing things to get his body ready for practice. These guys they're taking a leadership role in the room. Obviously, I think they're really doing a good job of connecting, right? Obviously when you come from somewhere else and then you come into a new program, the most important piece is just to connect. And they've connected with the Troy Franklins and the Chris Hudsons and the veterans that have been in the room.
When did Tez Johnson first get on your radar as a player? Was it something that Bo Nix kind of put you on? Was it seeing his film? When did you first kind of find out about his game and decide to go after him?
I mean, you obviously knew who he was, right? I mean, because he played at a high level at Troy. And then obviously when he entered the portal, that's when we explored the possibilities of him transferring.
Tez said that he's up to 160 now. He said he's been trying hard to bulk up. Do you want him to get bigger than that? Is it kind of the area that you want him at?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I want him to be at the weight that he can be at, to where he's durable, right? And still be able to play fast and keep his speed and to be able to transition in and out of breaks, and to where he's not having any injuries.
For Kyler and Justice, just in terms of their progress after last year and what they have to do in the next couple of weeks to put themselves in a better position to see a little bit more action than a year ago.
Those guys are competing. I think that's when you bring the talent that we brought in that room, and you with the Kyler and Justice Lowe's, everyone's competing. And they're helping each other. But those guys have made tremendous strides. They're getting better each day. They have a good feel for the system, which is the most important part. So now they can just worry about just making plays and winning.
You talked about those new guys kind of spending time with each other in the wide receiver room. What about making that connection with Bo? Obviously, they only have this year to, get that connection down with him and produce.
Well, that's what the offseason's for too, right? So I think these guys had a great offseason. Coach Love and his strength staff did a really good job of putting together a program to where these guys would be able to connect. These guys hang out all the time. They spend time after workouts in the summer throwing, and they spend time after practice throwing. But I think when it comes to Bo and those guys, they do spend a lot of time together, and it's a great connection right now.
I know we're only 3 days in, but what stands out to you about Jurion so far?
Jurion's doing good. It's Jurion, man. If you guys know Jurion, he's pretty funny. He's doing a good job. I think he's doing a good job in meetings. He's asked good questions. He's taking notes, and obviously making the transition from high school to college. He's just learning how to practice, but he's doing good. He's made plays, running around, playing fast.
What went into him getting 99? Is that a number he wanted? What?
Yep, that's the number he wanted.
And it was as simple as that?
Yeah, that's the number he wanted, exactly. Yeah, he wanted 99, so he got 99. So if you know Jurion, that's Jurion.
Is that the strangest receiver number you've coached before?
I've never had a 99. In 20 years, I've never had a 99, so it's a first.
What was your reaction when you heard that he wanted that number?
I'm like, come on, Jurion. Like, serious? Nah, for real, I won 99. I'm like, all right. So you got to talk to Coach Lanning about that one.
I tried. He didn't want to say much about it. So.
Yeah. So he said defer to me?
No, he didn't say anything.
No, you Jurion. It's just being Jurion, 99.
So you got.
I don't care what number he wears. Just make plays and know where you're going.
So you got a new toy out there with the Seeker. What's your early impressions of just how that's going to help you guys and what that offers your group in particular?
Well, I've had the Seeker. I had experience with the Seeker about 3 or 4 years ago, and I thought it's really good because you can get a lot of catches in a short amount of time, and then you can program it to where you can actually run a route and it can shoot it to you. You can catch a lot of balls that you couldn't catch on a normal jugs machine. So it's been good. The guy's been working on it a lot after practice.
Coach,
Coach, obviously, this year is expected to be another tough year for Oregon football, but now knowing that this is going to be the last year in the Pac-12, does this mean anything more, a little bit more special for you guys to compete and dominate, especially in the game offensively, knowing it's going to be the last season in the Pac-12?
One thing that we really care about is just being in the present and being where our feet are. And we're going to take it day by day. Tomorrow's practice 4, and that's what we're concerned with.
Talked about going back in the spring, even last year, about overhauling the room. And you've produced some great receivers before. This place only had that 1,000-yard receiver the last 8 years. And hasn't had a guy go in the first or second round in 25 years. What will the guys atop the depth chart in your room right now have to do to 6-8 months from now change that?
It starts in camp, right? We're really starting the off season. The way they come in every day, being a pro about how they attack the day, how they practice, how they come to meetings, and then obviously it's showing up on Saturdays and being consistent.
How have you seen Troy and Chris and some of the returners handle all the competition, adding so many new players? What's your observations been of that?
They've been great about it. The guys that came in they're making Troy and Chris better, and vice versa. And the thing is, no one's separate. We're all together. Everyone in that room is very well connected, and they feed off each other. They ask each other questions. They tell each other when they're right. They tell each other when they're wrong, and that's what friends should do.
Troy obviously had a great season last year. Just where have you seen him grow over the offseason? Where do you want to see him get to?
Troy, this offseason, if you can see him, I always refer back to the meeting room, right? Because literally in the meeting room, Troy has taken a step. You see him taking notes. You see him asking a lot of questions. You see him this offseason. He'll send me text messages of videos of like, hey, look at this guy run this route, or vice versa. He put some weight on a little bit. He's moving a little bit better. He's got a little more girth to him. He's been working hard.
What's the ceiling for Troy, you think, this season? How far do you think he can go this year?
I really don't put a ceiling on guys. You know what I mean? But I expect Troy to do big things.
How important is it for him to maybe model certain things, because he's been here for a while, for some of the younger guys, just kind of maybe show by example some of the things?
The things showing by example, how he comes to work every day, being consistent, attacking the meeting room, how he practices. You got to understand when high school kids come to college, it's the next step is learning how to practice, and that's what he can give those guys, is learning how to practice, learning how to take notes in meetings, and he's doing a good job of it.